Hello from
Finland, Helsinki. I am exhausted.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Barbara and I'm so happy to see you here. Today's video is going to be about going on a trip from a perspective of a trip coordinator. In case if you don't know, I have been working in tourism for over 8 years, out of which 6 years I've been working as a tour coordinator, traveling all around Europe. Taking care of my travelers in the bus. And in the last year, I started working as a hotel representative. The footage is going to be from a Lapland trip, which I did around 3 years ago, which is why you might see some masks in the video. It was still shot in the COVID time. It took me a little while to put it all together, but I still thought it's very valuable for those who are interested to know how does it look from a different perspective, whether it's because you're curious or maybe you want to do the job yourself and you're wondering how does it actually look like. With that being said, buckle up. I really do hope that you enjoy. If you have any questions, please do let me know down below so I can answer them in the next upcoming videos. A Lapland trip is one of the longest and also most expensive trips since it lasts 9 full days. Since most of my meals are not included and I didn't get any additional coverage for my meals, I did some shopping beforehand. But even with Nordic countries being very expensive and finances aside, traveling a lot means that I am eating out of my house a lot, and because I do care about my health, I try my best to always provide myself and my body with the most nutritious and healthy meals possible. My journey starts one day before everybody else's journey starts, and since the bus is moving up north, I usually travel to south of Germany, and that is Munich or Stuttgart, where I would start my shift, if I can even call that, because the first few days I usually work 24/7. Very often pickup times would already start around 4 a.m. so I had to leave my hotel very early in the morning, and I would collect more and more travelers as we stopped in various cities across Germany such as Mannheim, Frankfurt, Cologne, Düsseldorf and Hamburg, and then continue to our first country, which is Sweden. I must say I love this part because it includes a ferry ride and also gives me enough time to connect with the travelers a little bit, which is always a very nice thing to do, very helpful. I feel being a travel coordinator, you can really positively impact people's journey and people's experience and also make my own job easier. Of course, it's so much nicer and more pleasant working with people who are happy to see you, who are happy to hear your announcements, who are curious about your knowledge and also respect you. Seeing the gratitude of my travelers is also something that really keeps me going and truly gives me energy, because it's really exhausting. Now, to paint you a very good clear picture, I have been up from 4 a.m. in the morning, and the footage that you're seeing is from 2 a.m. at night, which means I have been up for around 22 hours, quite frankly stuck on a bus, which is why I was also very happy for this break that being on a ferry was. I could stretch my legs. And finally, after around 28 hours of journey for me, we have arrived to Stockholm. After sending my travelers to the city, my first order of business was, as you can imagine, hitting a toilet where I could freshen up a little bit, just wash my face, wash my hands, just feel good. And after I started feeling a little bit more like a human again, I went to the ticket office to do a registration of our bus and pick up boarding passes for everybody. Overall, because I am busy most of the time, checking people in, chatting, solving various problems, issues, answering questions, informing people about any delays, confirming with our suppliers various things, I almost don't feel the time passing. So even though I mentioned to you 28 hours, they don't really feel that long to me. They actually pass by quite quickly. It is the lack of sleep that is eventually catching on to me. However, in terms of staying occupied, I can never and I mean never ever, complain about being bored or having nothing to do. Now let's talk about free time. So after I'm done with all the formalities, I am free to leave the terminal as well and go and explore the city. However, as you can imagine, by the time I'm done with everything, I don't have much time left, also because I need to be back at the terminal before everybody else. So maybe I get 3-4 hours at best. Another thing is also energy levels, which are pretty low after sleeping maybe 3-4 hours in a bus. Being excited about sleeping is a huge understatement, because this is something I truly crave and cannot wait for. So usually as soon as I check in on board, I go to my room, unpack a little bit, take a shower, finally go to have some dinner and sleep. I would also like to point out that in a bus I don't have a table for myself or any double seats for that matter for myself as well. The company that I worked at was a budget friendly company, and they always sold out every single seat on the bus, meaning that I didn't have another seat to rest comfortably. But this is something that you have to take into consideration while working for a budget travel agency. Anytime a person would miss their bus because they didn't bring the passport, they got sick whatsoever, I would always feel so bad for them, personally thinking that it would really suck to be in their shoes. At the same time, I must admit, I was kind of happy that at least I will have a little bit more space next to me. So now you know how does the bus part look like, and now let's move to the more pleasant ship part. As you can see, the ship has so much to offer. I usually don't spend too much time roaming around, but I still like to get a taste. It feels like you are in some very big floating hotel, which is pretty cool. You have bars, restaurants, tax-free shops, spa and wellness area. You can also head to the sun deck to admire beautiful landscapes outside of the cruise ship. So whatever you decide to do, whether it's having an entertainment night or simply relaxing and unwinding, definitely everybody will find something for themselves.
It is 11:30, almost 11:30. I just came back from a little tour around the cruise ship. I was just walking around, seeing what attractions they have, because each ship is different. So yeah, I was just very curious. I also had a very nice dinner. Attended some entertainment, which I'm very happy that they happened, because they were normally supposed to be cancelled during COVID, of course, but they did. And right now I'll be getting ready for bed, because tomorrow we have breakfast at 7:30 Finnish time, and in Finland we are 1 hour ahead of our German time, which means 7:30 Finnish time is 6:30 German time, which is very early. Wake up call again. So yeah, I'm going to quickly freshen up, get clean and sleep.
After a night of some restful sleep and yet another super early wake-up call, we arrived in Helsinki.
Hello and welcome to Finland, Helsinki. We just arrived here and we have to spend 10 hours in the city, which is great because it's a lot of time to explore, but it could be a little bit tricky because 2 or 3 days before Finland introduced new restrictions that say that everything has to be closed after 6. So that's gonna be interesting. I really hope that in practice there are still going to be some cafes or restaurants open where I can spend the cold evening hours. If not, I'll just go ice skating to keep myself warm. And for now I have to find a cafe and work a little bit because when you go on a trip, of course you have basically a couple of days taken out of your life. In this case, in case of this trip, it's 8 days, so I also cannot really allow myself to not follow on other projects for 8 days, which is why I took my computer with me and I'm going to work a little bit and then go and explore the city once again. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Super excited, super happy and super freezing. Fun!
So the reason why we have to stay in the city for 10 hours is that the bus drivers need to officially have their 9 hours break. Due to the European regulations, two bus drivers can be driving the bus for 21 consecutive hours. And because the bus started officially working in the morning, where it did the little trip from the cruise ship to the mainland, and we have an overnight bus ride ahead of us, the clock started around 8 a.m., which means we would run out of time around 5 in the morning the next day. Taking the break by the bus drivers effectively resets the clock, which means we will be good to go for our evening journey. Now the break itself has to be 9 hours, however, since the bus drivers have to get to the hotel first and also we are accounting for the way back, we always give them 1 hour extra. It might not seem like a big deal for you, but let me tell you, if you have never experienced being left in a city for 10 or even in some cases 11 hours without possibility of going somewhere in case if you're tired, it's really difficult. So it's always a hassle for me to negotiate the shortest possible waiting time and reuniting with the bus drivers and also hyping everybody up and giving them ideas about what they can do in the 10 hours and possibly getting plenty of complaints towards the end of the day when people are just simply tired and cold. As I mentioned before, the trip happened in the corona times, so we also had to deal with additional restrictions. So in case if you're thinking about doing this job, you definitely will need to be resilient, creative, and be able to deal with all the issues that you might encounter while remaining patient and fostering good relationship, because you are going to be stuck on a bus with your guests, so you really have to be careful there. Personally, I would like to simply hang out with my guests in the evening and maybe during the day. Normally I would do some research before coming to a city, what are interesting things that are worth seeing, what is happening. People usually very much appreciate getting some tips, and sometimes I would inspire them, sometimes they would bring me some ideas. So this is how I would spend my time in most of the cities. I will, however, say that sometimes being with people is exact the opposite of what I need, and I just need a moment to myself to reground and simply take a breath. Hello from the Santa Cruz village. We are in Arctic Circle. We arrived maybe 2 hours ago. Today I'm completely exhausted. I couldn't sleep at night and I only started sleeping in the morning, but then we had 2 breaks at night and in the morning as well. Basically I slept 1 hour, so today I'm having a little bit of a crisis, but we're in this wonderful place, so I'm just roaming around, taking pictures, taking videos, and just enjoying myself. So that's the plan for today. It's also New Year's Eve, so let's see how that goes. Let's see how long will I stay awake. But yeah, it's very nice. I really miss being here. It's really cute. So I'm going also to show you a couple of attractions from here. As you can see, I was really trying to be energetic and excited, but at the same time I was also very tired, and this is exactly one of these days when I needed to be by myself. On one hand, it's so wonderful to be in such a beautiful place. On another hand, it's also kind of difficult to make it. Since it wasn't my first time, I already saw most of the attractions and time was passing very slowly for me that day. I find Santa Claus Village absolutely charming. I do, however, think it's a very commercial place at the same time. If you are not spending money, there is really not much to do. And I'm not trying to be ungrateful as well by any means. I'm just trying to show you the other side of actually doing the job. Sometimes you will go to the same place over and over again, and it will be challenging to spend a whole day over there, especially if you've been working almost non-stop for the last 4 days with very minimal rest. There are, however, things that I am actually actively looking forward to doing them over and over again, and these are excursions. In a small part, they make up for the lost time with friends and family, because as I mentioned before, this trip was happening on the New Year's Eve, and doing the job you have to be prepared that you will miss many occasions. I have to admit, it is however super cool to be starting New Year visiting a reindeer farm, learning about history of these beautiful animals, and going on a husky ride. If I am lucky and there's an even number of participants, I can tag along and do these things for free, but it's not always a guarantee. That day the stars were in my favor because I was able to get another husky ride, which I absolutely love. Generally, anything that has to do with animals, they always bring me so much peace and joy being around these furry creatures. The same night I also completed a reindeer ride and even saw northern lights. Now this is something you really cannot put a price on, and you also have to be very lucky. The sky has to be clear, the conditions have to be good, and you have to be in a good spot. So for me to witness that was really a highlight of this whole trip. If you're coming to Finland and you're on the fence between reindeer ride or a husky ride, go for husky ride for more adventure and reindeer ride as a more relaxed activity. I did, however, enjoy both, so I will recommend you to try both. If you're interested to learn more about spotting the northern lights, I created a very nice informative post on my channel, and I will also post the link down below. Even though the trip has not come to an end yet, this is more or less where I stopped recording. Next stop was Turku on the way back, and then Copenhagen. In Turku, most of the time went into dealing with COVID formalities, unfortunately, and in Copenhagen, we arrived quite late in the afternoon and also left very late in the evening. I went to the gym and then spent the rest of the evening in a cafe waiting until we can finally go back. I hope you got a better understanding of what the job actually entails. It's not only glamour and beautiful places, but also lots that goes on behind the scenes. If you have any more questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you found this video interesting. Before you go, please do not forget to leave that subscribe button down below, and I hope to see you in my upcoming videos. See you soon! If you like this video, make sure to check out my previous travel videos, and please let me know down in comments below which aspects of travel should I cover next. As usual, thank you so much for supporting me and my content. I'm really happy that you made it this far, and I cannot wait for you to see my new exciting vlogs because there is a lot. See you next time!